If you feel like you're doing everything right, you're eating healthy, you're working out, and you feel like your body just stopped responding, this is the part that nobody told you. Fat loss did not just stop because you became lazy, it stops because your body adapted. And if you don't understand what's actually happening under the surface, you're going to keep pushing harder, but not actually getting results. Little disclaimer here, yes, I am a physician assistant, but this video is for educational purposes only, should not be taken as medical advice. Please always chat with your healthcare provider before making any changes to your health, supplements, or medications. So, let's break this down in a way that actually makes sense because most people still think that fat loss is simply calories in, calories out. And while, yes, I am not disagreeing with that, calorie input matters the most for weight loss versus weight gain. But your body is honestly not just a simple calculator, it is a survival machine. This is the best way I like to think about it. It's like when your iPhone is going into low power mode. When the battery starts to get low, your phone doesn't just die immediately. It starts shutting things down. So it shuts down background processes, dims the screen, and starts conserving energy. Your metabolism does the exact same thing. When you've been dieting for too long, you're under eating, overtraining, you're stressed, you're not sleeping, your body starts to slow down. It starts burning fewer calories. It's going to increase hunger, decrease energy output. And now the same things that worked in the beginning aren't working as well for you anymore. And this is where a lot of people start making the biggest mistake. They respond by doing even more. So, more cardio, less food, more restriction. And that is the fastest way to dig yourself into a even further plateau. Now, to be completely honest, most people that think they are doing this are not doing this. They're not genuinely dieting. They're not actually genuinely dieting. They're not in a calorie restriction. They'll restrict Monday through Friday and then completely blow their diet all weekend and wonder why they still aren't losing weight. This is not the type of scenario I am talking about. I am talking about people that are genuinely, chronically dieting and consistently in a calorie deficit for months on end. And here's my little personal story about this. This is basically how I lived for years in my teenage and early 20 years. I always wanted to be leaner. I really had the desire to change my body and improve my physique, but I thought in order to do so, I needed to eat less and basically exercise more. There were very, very few days during this time frame that I did not work out. Every single day, I was doing cardio, working out in the gym 2 hours a day, and I would not allow myself to eat over 1,600 calories. Fast forward to when I met my husband around the age of 27, and he actually told me I needed to move into a bulking phase. He purposely had me eating more and doing less activity, but it was about quality workouts over quantity. And guess what? That is when my physique actually started changing. And I was also able to improve my metabolism. So now my maintenance calories are something around 24, 2,500, and I can very easily get lean if I want to. Now, let's talk about what is actually driving this because fat loss plateaus are never just about the calories. They are about your internal systems, okay? So the first one is your metabolism. When you start dieting aggressively for too long, your body will adapt. So your thyroid output slows down. Reverse T3 will increase, which basically blocks the active T3 hormone from working the way that it should. Your body starts conserving energy without you even realizing it. You might feel colder, more tired, more sluggish, and you start holding on to fat a lot easier. So it's not that the calories don't matter, it's that your body changed in how it responds to them. Second major piece here is hormones. And this is where things get even more important. If your cortisol is dysregulated, meaning, maybe you feel wired at night, but you're still exhausted in the morning, you're constantly stressed, your body does not feel safe losing fat. You're going to see things like cravings at night, water retention, bloating, stubborn fat, especially around the midsection. And poor sleep does definitely make this worse. So, when you're not sleeping well, your hunger hormones are completely thrown off. Your recovery will drop and your body will become more resistant to fat loss. And then we have sex hormones. So, in women, this looks like estrogen and progesterone imbalances in both men and women. Low testosterone can also play a role here. So, if these things are off, you're going to struggle with muscle retention, energy, motivation, and overall fat loss efficiency. This is the third place that most people aren't talking about for fat loss, and it is your gut. The easiest way to understand this is think of your gut like your foundation. So, if your gut is inflamed or imbalanced or not absorbing nutrients the way that it should, everything else you're trying to do will get harder. You can be eating the perfect diet, but if your body is not absorbing the nutrients the way that it should, or you're dealing with inflammation, you're just not going to get the same result. Another way to think about it is like trying to build muscle and lose fat on a system that's constantly inflamed. It's basically the equivalent of trying to train very hard when you have an active injury. You can push through it, yes, but you're never going to perform at your best. Common things I look for here: bloating that gets worse throughout the day, constipation or indigestion, feeling overly full from even just small meals, and then random food sensitivities that maybe you didn't have in the past. Because this is what a lot of people think, their fat loss stalled, but it's actually inflammation and gut health related problems that's masking your progress. This is something I see all the time. I had a client that came to me. She is also a health coach herself, and from the outside looked very healthy. But when she came to me, we found she had gut inflammation, leaky gut, and some hormonal imbalances, basically as a result of overtraining and being in a chronic dieting state for an extended period of time. So she was surprised when she came to me. I actually increased her calories pretty drastically and reduced her training to only 3 days per week. Lo and behold, after a few months, she was actually leaner than ever, her gut health restored, leaky gut completely resolved, and she was able to lose weight on a higher amount of calories than she's eaten in the past. Okay, so next we're going to talk about training because this is another piece most people get wrong. When progress slows, they assume they need to do more workouts, more cardio, more HIIT, more time in the gym. But your body might already be overstressed. And when you add more stress to an already stressed system, you're not going to get better results. When it comes to training, we're going to focus on quality over quantity. 3 to 4 resistance training sessions per week where you're actually pushing hard to failure is sufficient, okay? We don't need a ton of cardio, but low impact walking, maybe something a goal like 10K steps per day, that's a great place to start. We want to think about reducing overall stress on the body. And yes, of course, exercise is healthy for you, but it's still seen as a stressor on the body. Especially as women, fat loss is going to occur when your body feels safe. So instead of just doing more, we focus on doing the right amount. Strength training is the foundation here, and actually prioritizing recovery around that because recovery is where you actually build your results, not in the workout itself. And this is where most people miss it completely. They think recovery is just optional. It's not. Sleep, stress management, nervous system regulation, these are just as important as your actual workouts and nutrition that goes along with it. Okay, so now the final piece of this is understanding you cannot fix this simply by guessing. Because if you've hit your fat loss plateau and it is driven by any of these things, thyroid issues, cortisol dysregulation, gut inflammation, hormone imbalances, no amount of random dieting or random supplements is going to fix that. This is why testing becomes super important because you can actually see what's going on. You see what type of inflammation you have in your gut. What do your hormones look like? What is your metabolism doing? And then you can actually build a plan around that matches your body. So instead of forcing your body to adapt to a plan that doesn't fit. So if you're stuck right now and you feel like you're doing everything right, I want you to understand this. Your body is not broken. It is responding the exact way it was designed to. You just haven't addressed the underlying issues yet. Fat loss is not just about working harder. It's about working smarter and aligning your metabolism, your hormones, and your gut health and your lifestyle so your body actually feels safe enough to respond. If you've been stuck in this cycle and you're tired of guessing, click the link in the description to apply for a free consult with my team. This is exactly what we do inside of our coaching programs. We look at your data, we look at your lifestyle, we look at your specific body and build a plan that actually works for you. So you're not stuck spinning your wheels for months or potentially even years. If this episode helped you, save it and share it with a friend. Thanks so much, guys. I'll see you in the next one.